Hi, and welcome back to AI and 5. I'm your host, Simon Chris, and joining me today from Ontario in Canada is Atif Malik. Atif is the Chief AI Officer for Zaori, and we're going to be talking about the impact of AI on cybersecurity. Hey, Atif, welcome to AI and 5. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you very much for having me, Simon. I'm very excited to be here.
No, it's great to have you on. And by the way, first off, congratulations on winning an award in Canada's top 100 AI startups. That's exciting. We've only got 5 minutes, so we're going to jump right into it. One of the areas of speciality for you is around cyber and AI. And it's been a question in my head, I'm sure for many of the listeners' heads, is are the current approaches to cybersecurity adequate in the world of AI?
The short answer is no, absolutely not. And
Okay.
there's a lot of catching up to do. The current methods of cybersecurity, the controls that we have in place, a lot of the regulation, even the insurance terminology, they have not caught up to the technology that is readily available to threat actors right now, and that is being used to target organizations across the world. And the technology is advancing so quickly, and it is readily available through by means of internet, subscription downloads. It's not something that you have to go out and build anymore. It's something that you can
Wow.
just purchase with a credit card and use maliciously against organizations.
Okay, so this isn't, your chat GPT. Clearly, this is, a more advanced algorithm, but so it's not something you have to go to the dark web to get or something. It's tools that are readily available.
These are tools that are readily available that you can stack with each other. For example, if we're talking about cyber attacks related to phishing,
Mm-hmm.
um, and you can take a couple of tools that can clone a person's image, can clone their voice, can clone their style of speech, and can predict the type of tone they would use in, let's say, a conversation with somebody that they work with in finance, and be able to use that to be able to get funds transferred from their bank account to the threat actor's account. And those attacks have kind of already occurred. And as the technology advances, there are going to be even more instances of those attacks.
Well, okay.
Uh,
So do you see the greater risk here of being someone coming in through phishing and deception type of thing? Or is it more, the traditional finding a way to hack the firewall and going in and stealing the data? Or is it both?
it's both, but my biggest concern right now is the advancements in phishing attacks, because you're not going to be able to tell who is actually who. Before, there were certain cyber hygiene protocols you would follow. If it's, for example, if you got an email from your boss and you were asked to send some information or transfer funds, you could at least, check to see if the email was coming from somebody that was legitimate, or pick up the phone and call them and ask if it was actually them. I've done that on many occasions. But when you're actually sitting in front of somebody like how you and I are right now and on a
Yep.
camera, and that person, by every detail of their facial image, by every detail of the sound of their voice, looks and talks like who you think you're talking to, you're not going to question it. And
Yeah.
there are instances of that happening right now.
Yeah, and in trying to protect ourselves from it, like personally, I have a secure little phrase to set up with my children and grandchildren and my wife, so that if I ever got a phishing call that I suspected, I could say to them, "What's the password?" How does an organization of 5,000 people achieve that?
Well, first they have to focus on the type of technology that they're using right now and see if it has adequate countermeasures to detect these type of threats, which right now they do not. And
Mm.
you're going to see a cat and mouse game until we catch up. So I think that in the short run, you're going to see threat actors. The advantage is going to be in their court until we catch up. Now, how do we detect that the person is actually who they are? I think what you said is probably a really good method. Like, what is the password, right?
Yeah.
Or like a keyword. But now imagine trying to train an organization of 500 or 5,000 people to follow those protocols. It's going to leave a lot of room for error.
Yeah, and
And
I imagine even if you set up a password, a disgruntled worker leaves, they're going to post the password on the internet for someone else to get. So, so we're almost at time, but what should organizations be doing right now? Is there anything they can do, or do they need to wait for tools to be developed?
I believe that the biggest thing that organizations, and not just organizations, but this is a societal issue. We need to focus on regulating this technology to make sure that it is controlled, that we can tag whenever this technology is being used to clone somebody's voice and clone somebody's image, so that it's not used in a way to harm people. AI should be used as a tool that enables humanity, not disables it. And at the rate it's currently going, it is going to do nothing but the opposite.
Yeah, wow. This has been fantastic, and we're right at time, but I love to ask everybody the same question. What's your one tip for someone who's just starting their AI journey? They may be opening ChatGPT for the first time. What's your tip?
My tip is speak to their community, speak to the organizations in their community, speak to local not-for-profits, speak to their government officials, and find out what type of programs are available that will help accelerate their journey to becoming players in the AI industry.
Spectacular advice. Atif, thank you so much for being on AI in 5.
Simon, it was a pleasure. Thank you so much.